This week on The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
And now he gets offered these cameras to come and use my own platform against me. I don't need anything else. I'm trying. I'm literally trying.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 2. Let's get right into this. Okay, you guys, I really enjoyed episode 1. I know there was sort of a mixed reaction, but I thought for the most part people had an open mind and they liked the premiere as well. So we begin episode 2 where we left off last week. We're still at Shamea's birthday party. Shamia asks Drew, "Are you dating Dennis?" I'm asking because I've heard people say they saw you at the club boot up with him with matching outfits. Not matching outfits. Drew says, "Well, me and Porsha talked about it," and Porsha says, "No, I was talking to Dennis about something that had to do with Pilar, and he invited me to Drew's party. I didn't pay much mind because I was going to bed or whatever. Then I saw a picture on Drew's Instagram, and she looked washed. She was not looking like herself, and I thought maybe it was some stress with what she's going through. So the next day, I called Drew to ask if she's okay, and she brought up Dennis. But let me be clear, I don't care if she's hanging out with Dennis." Shamia then pulls out the picture from that night when Drew was in the club with Dennis. And Drew then says to Porsha, "Can I say my side? So I reached out to you many times. What happened was I was opening up for Tamar Braxton. Dennis's team then approached me to see if I wanted to host the official after party. He then did a whole professional pitch to work with me on music. This is why he has been my angel on earth, because we've been working on this music and music has saved me through this time. It's been my therapy. I did ask him if he had told you about it, and he told me that, Porsha, you gave him your blessing to work with me. And he's been like a brother to me. He was in the studio with me and he cried because Dennis loves you. I don't want you to think I would ever be messing with him." So Porsha says, "Okay, are you done? You can marry, F, or kill Dennis. Whatever. I don't care. The bottom line is I have done nothing but root for you. I made you an ambassador of Go Naked Hair. My problem with you is that you are a low-down, dirty individual. You got the wrong one. You effing with the wrong one." So Drew is like confused and a little shocked. So she's like, "What are you talking about? Like, how have I come for you?" So then Porsha asks the producers if she can break that fourth wall, and they say yes. So Porsha says that Drew has been trying to get Dennis to film scenes with her on the show this season. So basically, Porsha don't care if Drew wants to do what she wants to do with Dennis. She just doesn't want Drew to film with him. So Porsha also says that Drew called production to set up a photo shoot for her brand, Go Naked Hair. Now this made me laugh. Drew's like, "Yeah, I wanted to do a photo shoot for the hair," and Porsha says, "Nobody asked you to do a photo shoot. Are you insane? You have a contract to wear hair." She then calls Drew an awful effing slimy bitch. I mean, Porsha was very mad. Now, we all know Drew lies and lies and lies. But I do think she was a little shocked by Porsha's reaction. Shamia then takes them all back down to continue the party, and then they jump into the pool, and that was the end of that. So, great first party for Atlanta. So let me know what you think of this. Honestly, I'm still a little bit Team Porsha on this, only because I feel like what she's most upset about is obviously like she wanted to film with him, but also I think the way she went about it, and like her all of a sudden be like, "Oh, he's been my angel." He's say like, okay, that's a little crazy. Like, we're talking about my ex, my baby daddy. Like, what? Okay, so anyway, it's now a new day, and we see Angela. So she's in her house. Charles is in the kitchen. He's cooking We meet their 24-year-old daughter. They have 4 children in total. They actually met in Chicago at a party, but they didn't get together until 10 years later. Wow. She owns 5 properties that she's going to be renovating and then selling. The daughter then asks her, how did the party go? So Angela is filling her in on all the drama, and Charles was really not having it. He don't want to be part of no drama, which honestly, that's good for him. So next up, Kenya and Porsha meet up, and this is the day that they posted that pretty viral picture on Instagram at the time when this was being filmed. I remember everybody talking about that picture. And Kenya and Porsha have gone through so much in the past, 10, 11 years. And this was a very nice scene. They're definitely so much more mature as opposed to when they first met. And it was nice to see them talk about just life in a very nice way. So they talk about the party, the drama that happened. Drew specifically, Porsha explains that when she was getting along with when she's getting along with Dennis, that makes things very easy for them to co-parent. It's just so much easier. So she doesn't want him to be in an environment where he could possibly become, she says, Dennis the Menace, and that would obviously complicate things. So then Kenya asks Porsha about her husband, Simon, because around this time was when Simon was non-stop posting Instagram stories and posts and all that stuff with cryptic messages shading Porsha. Porsha says that she didn't know about a lot of things that he was lying to her about. For example, one time, something that did feel a little suspicious was that he told her that he was in a car and he didn't know it was stolen, and because he had a green card, it was like a bad thing. But then she learned about his past recently of scamming, being married before through the judge, and all that stuff. Apparently, Porsha is his 5th wife. She then says that when she moved out of the house, because now she's with her mom, but when she barely moved out, she still had the cameras connected to her phone. So she saw Simon bringing a bunch of women into the house, which is crazy. And y'all, I just can't. I I can just imagine if Kenya would have given, if she would have been given confessionals. I can kind of tell she would have been so shady in this scene talking about Simon. They should have definitely given Kenya confessionals, I feel like. All right, next up we see Kelli. She's visiting an empty restaurant with her publicist and her manager. Kelli is going to be turning this restaurant into another Nana's Chicken and Waffles. She currently only has one. She had another one, but her ex got rid of it. So this will be the second. I think that it is super cool. I love that she wants to have like franchises. I'm wishing her the best. And who knows, maybe one day she'll have in different states. And that'll be super cool. So I'm going to be very interested seeing the process of this project. Moving along, we see Brittany at her home. She's with her husband. His name is Mike. They got married during COVID. Kelli has an insurance agency that she began, and he was one of her clients. That's how they met. So we see them talking about stuff that they need to get done. She's working on wanting to get a new house. She also really wants a baby. They do get into a bit of an argument because she really wants to do things like in order, responsibly, like talk about it, let's do it by the book. And he's kind of just like, he kind of has attitude about it, and that's kind of frustrating her. Also, her mom lives with her. I don't know. This scene felt kind of weird. I don't know, like, what is up with some of these husbands looking so annoyed by their wives? Like, I don't get it. Okay, moving on. Shamia goes to visit a woman named Shadina. And I knew she looked familiar, and yeah, of course, she was Candy's surrogate. So she now has a surrogate agency along with Dr. Jackie. So she also happened to be a surrogate for Shamia. Now, during that specific pregnancy, about 32 weeks into it, Shadina, the surrogate, got breast cancer. And it's a very sad situation because remember, Shamia had told us last episode how the baby had some health issues. So Shamia, on the one hand, feels a little responsible. What if because of her, what if what if because of Shadina carrying her baby, it gave her breast cancer, and then Shadina, on the other hand, also feels a little bit guilty. Like, was she a failure? Is it her fault that the baby has health issues? So it's just a sad situation all the way around. Shamia also shares that she just got pregnant recently, but she had an ectopic pregnancy. So she retells that experience, a horrible experience. It was pretty sad. But she does have two embryos in Atlanta and two in LA, two boys, two girls. Her husband wants them to grow their family, and Shamia wants to as well. So that's something that she's going to be doing soon. So this was a very nice scene. It was a very personal, very authentic. So I enjoyed that. All right, next scene is Kelli and Brittany. They're very close friends. So Brittany is telling Kelli about wanting to have a wedding because when her and Mike got married, it was during the pandemic, so there wasn't an actual wedding. Brittany then makes a joke about she's not gonna be late. Now that's a dig at Porsha, who came in super late to Shamia's birthday party. Brittany also calls out Kenya for saying something about her ring on last week's episode. She says, well, she gotta worry about her divorce, not if I have a wedding band or not. Speaking of divorce, Brittany asks Kelli how is she doing with her divorce, and Kelli says that it turns out that her ex was cheating, but he also took $500,000 from the company. She found out because her accountant called her that he had taken all the money from the bank account. So she had to file a lawsuit, and then things got physical between them. It was very dark. She says that, like, towards the end of that marriage, police were called. She was sleeping in the closet. Like, I can't even imagine. I think it was very, very bad. Brittany says that she's here for Kelli and whatever she needs. Next scene is Drew and Angela at the gym. Apparently, they're very close friends. So, Drew is telling Angela that she's very upset over what happened at the party. Angela says, not gonna lie to you, Drew, I do wonder, like, why are you working with him, with Dennis, out of all the people in Atlanta? Drew says that she's just worked with so many people and her music hasn't gone to the level where she wants it to. So when Dennis came to her with an offer, she went for it. She would like Porsha, though, if she has a problem with it, to tell her instead of attacking her or accusing her like she did at the party. Angela then asks Drew about Ralph, what's going on there. Also, are we going to see Ralph? I wonder. Drew says Ralph is asking for alimony, child support, and stuff like that. So she says that it's pretty rough dealing and navigating through that issue, and she gets emotional about it. They are then joined by Shamia, and the three of them begin to work out. They got a good workout in. Drew says that she wants to be like in the best shape of her life as well as she can before she goes on tour. Drew says that she's actually gotten about 30 records done with Dennis. Then Angela turns to Shamia and says, Shamia, I was really surprised that you asked Drew that question for Porsha. Shamia says, no, I didn't ask her for Porsha. I asked her for me. I wanted to know. When I talked to Porsha about it before y'all knew, and then Angela interrupts her and says, I'm talking about the party. I'm talking about what happened at the party. You were being Porsha's assistant. And Shamia and Angela, they kind of start going at it. And Shamia says, you're coming in hot. So Drew even says in her confessional that Shamia is a lapdog. So I think that's what they're kind of trying to tell Shamia, that they feel like she's doing Porsha's bidding for her and all that. But Shamia wasn't having it. She actually leaves. Okay, so then the last scene of the episode is Porsha, Dennis, and their daughter. They're at a play place. Porsha asks him about Drew, and he says, it's just business with us. Porsha says, well, the way she was talking about you, it sounded like you are her Lord and Savior. Dennis says, well, she was going through a divorce with my boy Ralph, and I felt like there was music we could work on because we were feeling similar emotions. I've seen you and what you're going through, but I would never touch Drew. I even told Ralph that. Do you think I'm banging Drew? And Porsha says, I just feel some type of way about her wanting to bring you on to film with. He says, well, I mean, if she needs promotion. And Porsha says, wait, now you're going to make me mad. You would film with her? So Porsha gets upset. She gets up and she just says that she feels like she can't get any loyalty from people. So she leaves. She's crying. She's breaking the fourth wall. She's talking to the producers. I did feel bad for her. I don't like seeing people cry. But then 20 minutes later, when they're about to leave, they're in the car. They still had their mics on, and Porsha does tell him that he can't be filming with no one else other than her. And that's where the episode ends. Now, you guys, what's your opinion about this? Are y'all with Porsha? Is she correct? Should Dennis not cross that line when it comes to filming with other housewives? Or is she being dramatic and hypocritical about it? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm really interested because I can kind of see both sides, not gonna lie to you. But kind of leaning towards Portia's side because at the end of the day, it's like that is her baby daddy. So I could see how that's being shady. So I don't know, y'all. Let me know. Overall, though, I thought it was a pretty good second episode. A little bit of a filler episode, but I think it's necessary because we're still trying to get to know some of these new women, some of the new dynamics. So yeah, you guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinions were about this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.